Hi everyone, welcome back. Scott here from Sequoia CX, and today I want to talk to you about image optimization. It's never been more important that you shrink and optimize every single image that goes onto your web pages. Not only does it ensure that your visitors get the best possible experience with Google's page experience updates in May of 2021, it also means that your page performance is going to be better and you'll be ranked higher in search results. So today I just wanted to cover the 4 things you should be considering when you're shrinking and optimizing those images, and then run you through how to actually do it on Windows with GIMP and on Mac with Photoshop and Preview. So let's just jump right in. The first thing you're going to want to consider is resolution. Now, regardless of whether visitors are viewing your website on a smartphone or on a larger monitor, you can typically shrink your images down to about 2,000 pixels in width and still have them look great on your website. The second thing to think about is pixels per inch, or PPI. Now, this just refers to pixel density. If you take pictures on a mirrorless camera or DSLR, or just download them on stock photography websites, they'll often come over to you at 300 PPI, which is way more than you need for a website. You can shrink that down to 72 PPI, and typically these images are still going to look great. You're not going to get a lot of quality loss, at least while folks are looking at them on digital screens on your website. The third thing to think about is your file type. So if you're displaying pictures or photos, JPEG is typically a better option. If you're displaying vector graphics and simple shapes, something you've created in Illustrator, you're going to want to use PNG. That'll also give you the ability to display graphics with transparent backgrounds. And then finally, the last one is compression and quality. So even when we output those JPEG or PNG graphics, we can still add some additional compression to shrink the file size without really recognizing any quality loss for how they're displayed on a screen, or making it very minimal. So let's take a look and jump right into how to make updates to your images to shrink them down and make them as small as possible. So first thing is, here on my Windows machine, we've got an image that I downloaded of Yosemite National Park. Looks great, but it's huge. It weighs in at 34 megabytes. Way too big. We're not going to upload that to our website. So here is GIMP. This is a free photo and image editing suite like Photoshop. Go download it. It has a lot of bells and whistles that can take a long time to master, but for what we want to do here today, it's really simple. And this gives you a lot of powerful tools to get going with image editing and manipulation. So all we're going to do is we're going to go up to the image menu and we're going to go to scale image. We're going to take this width on image size and I'm going to bump this down to 2000 and keep the aspect ratio locked. And then in resolution, I'm just going to drop that down to 72 like we talked about instead of 300. And I'm going to scale and it shrinks down our image. So then all we have to do is go to File, Export As. We'll name this Reduced so we can keep track. And I'm going to hit Export. Now I'm going to drop the quality down on this JPEG file down to about 50. Not going to mess with any of these other settings for now, just to give you an idea. I'm going to hit Export. Now if we go back to our File Explorer, we have our original file at 34 megabytes, and we have a reduced file at 27. Now we can open both of these and toggle between, and you'll notice a little bit of difference. Here's the original. And there's the reduced size. But without zooming in, the quality of these two images is not that significant. In fact, it looks like, it even feels like there's a little more detail on the reduced size just because of compression and export settings. So that's GIMP. Let's jump over onto my Mac screen, and I will show you the same process in Photoshop. So here I have my 2 files, one for Preview and one for Photoshop, both at 34 megabytes. In Photoshop, this is really easy. We're just going to go up to the File menu and Export. Now you can use Export As, that's the newer file feature. I'm old-fashioned, so I'm going to use Save for Web Legacy. That's going to package and export your photos at 72 pixels per inch automatically. So all I'm going to need to do is go down here to image size, make that 2000. Our JPEG quality up here is already set to 50. And then that's going to give us what's expected to be a 400 kilobyte file. So I'm going to go ahead and save. I'll do the same thing, and I'll label this reduced and save it there. Now, before I check the file size, let's jump over and let's do the same operation in Mac's built-in preview. So here, all we're going to do is go Tools, Adjust Size, drop this down to 2000 pixels, and then the resolution, same thing, 72. That made it really small. Then I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to go Export. And I'm going to drop the compression quality down to about 50% there. Label that reduced as well. And save. Now that looks like it's a little bit larger. But, as you can see, we have our original files at 34 megabytes. We have a reduced preview file at 1.2 megabytes. And a reduced Photoshop file at 412. But I'm not done, because as I mentioned, we can do some compression on this. So you can use a web-based resource like TinyPNG, or on Mac, there's a program called Image Optum. And you can take these same files, and you can drop them in. And there are various settings for how much compression you want to have Image Optum do for JPEG or PNG. But when I drop these files in, I'm getting a file of 260 kilobytes for my preview, which is an 80% savings over what it was before, and 237 kilobytes for my Photoshop file. So that's really it. There's so much savings that you can get out of optimizing and shrinking and compressing your images. Again, the key is to ensure that every page loads really fast and you deliver the best possible experience to your visitors. Now, if you want more information, I'll put a link below to a blog that goes into more detail and has some links out to other helpful resources like those web-based tools, like these photo editing platforms. Otherwise, head over to sequoiacx.com for more information on web design, management, and optimization. We help businesses deliver more meaningful relationships with their customers at scale. And among those is, digital experiences like websites. So thanks so much for watching, and until the next video, keep on growing.